Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Ghost and Spirits news video. Well, how about that when it comes to something else, an update associated with the Zak Bagans Haunted Museum. And what an update! This is definitely a welcome new experience that's apparently going to happen very soon there at the museum, that once I heard about this just the other day, I just had to share it with everyone here. So I do have these videos done because there's a lot of fans associated with this museum. It still gets a lot of views on my videos. People still love hearing about that stuff. They love hearing about ghost adventures, and then of course about Zak himself. And I'm a big fan of all three of the above as well, so I definitely love being able to share this stuff with you here. But this is truly one of the most exciting bit of news associated with the museum. So if you haven't had a chance, you can check out all my past videos below. I'll try to include some of the links for it as far as the past Haunted Museum videos, including the most recent one where I talked about the RIP All Access Tour. But this one, we're going to talk about this. You're looking at a picture of it now. It's a brand new experience again, and it's called the Late Night Flashlight Ghost Tour Experience. So very, very cool stuff to share with you here. So let's go ahead and let's talk about all the wonderful information associated with this limited opportunity. And I'll say limited because more on that here in a minute as to why I think it's just going to be for a short while. So here's how it goes. So ever since the museum opened back about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, slowly but surely things have been modifying with the tickets, with what people purchase. Like when I went there the very first time, it was just a couple of months after it first opened, and then it was a smaller tour, and then it was a large amount of groups. But the nice thing about Zak and about some of the other people that manage that museum is that they've taken experience, they've taken feedback from people that go there, and then of course with some of the feedback I've provided in my videos as well, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones out there on YouTube too, and people there have been able to modify things. So it went from the first stance of shorter tours with larger groups to now slightly longer tours with smaller groups, and then later on they started adding on other things as well, like other stops, and they started removing certain stops altogether. It's all again based on people's preferences. So kudos to them for being able to do something along those lines. The best example of it now is the RIP All Access Tour, which I just talked about the other week. And with that one, it provides an even longer tour experience with previous areas that were banned or blocked from being investigated. And so you're able to now go into those locations for a slightly larger price, but it definitely creates a more personal experience. So you get to see again how they continue modifying these things as the museum continues to stay open and continues to grow fans worldwide. The one thing though that I really, really wanted to have that hadn't been happening yet was this, and I remember I sent them an email on this earlier this year as well, and I'm sure there are others that posted this too. I wanted to have like an all-out ghost hunt experience. Those are the ones that I've gone through with some of my past locations, like here throughout Texas, and in some cases there in Las Vegas, Nevada as well. And then that's where you pretty much go to a location, but you're given free reign. That's the big difference between, let's say, a regular ghost hunt and then the ones that were there at the Zak Bagans Museum. Because if you go there now, you're pretty much led room to room. You can't just stop on your own and go explore other places. You're going to be led from one area to another, always with the group and then always with the tour guide. So it's not really like a true ghost hunting experience per se, not like the ones that I've been in at other locations where, yeah, you can definitely just choose to be at one place or another, free reign on your own, and then you get to just choose however long you want to stay at those locations. That's the kind of stuff that I miss. That's the kind of stuff that I've always wanted at the museum, and so that's what I mentioned in the email. And I remember mentioning too that even if it costs more money to it, fans like myself and others out there would definitely be open to paying for it if that opportunity is given. Well, lo and behold, it looks like that email worked, and I'm sure others had sent previous things as well. And look at this. So now you have the brand new the Ghost Tour experience there, the one that they call the Late Night Flashlight Tour, and here are all the rich details associated with it. So for starters, there's this that you'll see here. And here it showcases that for the first time ever, you get to investigate a historic mansion that's also filled with multiple accounts of malevolent hauntings by previous occupants and owners. This will be in total darkness after hours. I believe the museum closes 11 p.m., if I'm not mistaken, 11 p.m. Nevada time. And so I think this is after that time period. So fair warning, if you're going to go do this new experience, you're going to be doing so very, very late night. Of course, in Nevada and Las Vegas, midnight, 11 o'clock ain't really that late. But just to give you an idea, you are going to be staying pretty much to the next morning. And then the way it works is only 20 people are going to be in the museum during this particular time period, but you'll be divvied up into groups of 10. So 2 groups altogether, each half exploring one half of the building, and it's being done for 45 minutes. When I was reading this information, I thought that was really, really cool. That was a really neat thing to do, because I think 45 minutes on each side of the building itself is perfect. I don't think you'll need any more time per se when it comes to that stuff. And 45 minutes will go by pretty quick, especially if you're in an area that you start feeling things or encountering certain proof. And then once that happens, then you'll go to the next side, and then you'll have a whole new fresh area to do so. So look at it this way. It's going to be 1.5 hours of yourself in that museum, along with 10 other people in your group, 20 people altogether. I thought that number of people also is a good amount. I don't think it should have been any more. I don't think it needs to be any less. But still, if you have a chance and you go there, maybe there's only, let's say, 5 people, then that's even all the more better. But fair warning, again, you may be with 10 other people if you go by yourself, or if you go in a small group, you may be with others there that you may not recognize. But that's fine. Everyone there, this is for, the way I read this information, this is for the serious adventure goers. These are for the serious ghost hunters, the ones that truly want to experience the museum to its full potential. So I imagine you're not going to have people that are just like a bunch of drunks there, all amateurs, that are just going to be causing havoc. No, I think they're going to be serious people there that are there to enjoy the museum. And so that's pretty much the upfront information. The next bit that you'll see is this. The museum will provide an engraved flashlight with a complimentary ticket purchase. So when you purchase your ticket, you get this brand new flashlight. I actually have that flashlight myself. In fact, you're looking at a picture of it now. This was when it was first offered, back at the beginning when I first did my very first tour there at the museum. And so this flashlight, I imagine it's the very same one that you'll get there too. It works really cool. I actually, now that I've had it for about 3 years, it's still working, and it still works nice when it comes to its beam. It has the little AAA batteries that it utilizes, and I've used it on various cone sets as well. I use it actually as a backup flashlight to my other flashlight as well. And then paranormal equipment is complimentary to borrow. I don't know exactly what's going to be in that equipment. I imagine it's going to be the cheaper stuff, like stuff along the lines of dowsing rods, maybe a little EVP thing or something that blurts out those noises. I don't know, but still, that'll remain to be seen. And then no video cameras or photographs are allowed. This was a bummer. I thought that this was going to be something that was finally going to be available within the museum itself, but unfortunately not. Not even with this ticket, not even with this ghost hunt and then the flashlight experience. No video cameras or photographs. So that's the only loss that I think is associated with this actual purchase. I thought that there would be more chance to be able to take more evidence home, but no, I don't think that they're going to allow that there too. And it still says strongly recommended for everyone to take the regular or RIP all access tour. If you haven't had a chance, please do so. You will get some really good information associated with the museum. But if you go in, I don't think the tour guides there, the way they make it sound, are going to be providing that info. Once it says free reign, it's pretty much free reign. You're on your own, so you'll be able to experience those things too. And then on my end, if I get to see this later on, again, it's limited, so more on that here in a minute. But if I truly get to see it afterward, I'm going to go to certain places right off the bat. First off, I'm going to go to the Lee Shapiro room. That's the room with the lady that, again, had that special type of contact or communication with some very dark demonic forces that she apparently had a portal opened or something else done that claimed her life. Then I'm going to go to Peggy the Doll Room, which is also a huge one that I want to be able to go see, and then finally get to have a one-on-one conversation with Peggy. Try to see, in other words, if she can say anything else to me that otherwise than saying hello in the past. Then I'm going to go to the Dybbuk Box room. That's the big room there where you get to experience the infamous Dybbuk Box. And then there's one more new box that they placed there in the last go-around that you get to see there too. And then the big one on my end, the big finale, is if the basement is open, I want to go check out the basement as well. This will be a great opportunity to actually go down there and then spend presumably as much time as you want within those 45 minutes, and then get to see if you get to encounter that entity or dark force, whatever it was, that rushed Zack during the last special that he had there too. I don't know if the other rooms will be all necessarily open. It definitely makes it seem that way. When it says free reign, it seems like the entire location will be open as well. So maybe other areas that people want to go to, like the Demon House room, you may have an opportunity there. Or if you wanted to go to the room filled with scary dolls, you'll have that option too. I think you get to go check out Zack's quote-unquote office, which is that creepy looking room that has one of the murder dolls associated with it there. So all that stuff sounds really, really neat. So that's going to be really cool to go and go see. And then finally, I wanted to show this, Know Before You Go. Here it showcases a little FAQ, if you will, some checklist as far as what you can do. So always arrive 15 minutes before the tour start time. I think they're really serious too, where it says late arrivals. If you arrive late, you will not be admitted. So tough luck. You're going to have to reschedule or hope for some kind of refund. I don't think that's going to happen there. And it's a low-level environment. What they mean is this: if you've been to the museum, you'll realize how dark it is in there. I mean, obviously there's lights in the hallways and other lights here and there, but otherwise you'll have to bring in your own flashlight or get that flashlight again that's associated with the tour, the complimentary one. And then face masks are still mandatory, so be on the checkout for that. Same thing with temperature checks. That's the one that they had there as well. Again, it's reiterating no video cameras or photos allowed. Here's a little bit more information as far as the equipment that you can bring. You can bring audio recorders, which is going to be cool. My phone will have a really nice audio recorder, and then I have a separate one. Yeah, I have a separate one as well that I can use, and spirit boxes and so on. My question though is this: if some of us like me have this stuff as an app on the phone, I'm wondering if we're able to be allowed to use that. I think you probably can. They're probably able to tell you that you can do so if obviously you're not taking pictures or video, but I'm wondering how they're going to monitor that as well. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. And then no large bags and drinks and so on will be allowed. Now, the last thing I wanted to showcase was this. Now, you saw that actually that October, it showcases the dates that are currently available. I mean, all the ones in green are the ones that have open slots. When I said the word limited at the beginning, I think that they're testing this on a trial basis. October is obviously tied to Halloween, so this is perfect for it. And so I'm thinking they're using this opportunity to test it for a month, especially during Halloween, to see how well this does. Because if this continues, then you'll see on the next slide here, November doesn't have anything yet. There is no slots because there are none that are open. So I'm wondering then if it's a success and there's a large amount of bookings, that if they'll continue. And I really do hope so. Fingers crossed that they have this going on, because that means the next time that I go to Vegas, then I'll get to enjoy this very, very special experience. Otherwise, those of you that get to go there now in October, you are very, very lucky, because you are the ones that get to enjoy this hour and a half free reign experience there in the most haunted museum in the entire world, and you get to do so wherever you go, wherever you want during that allotted time. So how wonderful is that special opportunity for you? If they don't continue it, that's going to be a huge bummer. I imagine that if it doesn't sell as many tickets, then I don't think they'll offer it afterward, considering how much staff they have to keep, let's say overnight, especially when it comes to this being an hour and a half. I'm going to wait and see how that approach goes. So I imagine they're doing the very same thing as well. But please, I do hope that there's a large number of bookings. I do hope that there's more of these that open up like November, December, and so on, because I truly want this to be something that continues on an ongoing basis. As you'll see there too, there's the ticket price. It's not cheap. Remember, I was mentioning earlier about this being just for serious ghost hunting fans. It's $199, probably with tax, with whatever service fee as well. So you're probably looking at around $220, $230, somewhere around there. This is not cheap, but actually it's in line with most other ghost hunting tours and the prices associated with them. I know it sounds a little bit high, but if you've been like me, an avid ghost hunter now for around 4 years, and I've gone through multiple parts of Texas and then Nevada, and I think that was it. But otherwise, going through multiple places that offer these kind of tours, you'll realize that it's actually in line. And maybe it's a little bit higher on an individual basis, but still, considering this is the most haunted museum within the entire world, this is a small price to pay for this special experience. An hour and a half for something like this. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. $199 to me is no deal at all when it comes to that price, because of the unforgettable experience that you'll have there. How I wish this would have been offered 2 weeks ago when I was there in Las Vegas, because then I would have been able to enjoy it on my own. I didn't mind the RIP All Access tour, but if it was between that one and this, I would have definitely done this ghost light experience, this ghost tour experience there at the Zak Bagans Museum. So again, all lots of rich information associated with this brand new stuff that's there at the museum. Let me know what you guys think. Those of you that are lucky enough to go there within a few weeks when it starts in October, I would love for you to be able to come back to this video and then post your experience there. Share with others. Others are doing it within my past channels. My past videos, and they get to do so, and then everyone gets to enjoy that particular experience. So yes, please, if you have a chance later on, please do so. Please post those comments. Otherwise, if you have any thoughts right now about what's going on between now and when the show starts, whenever this experience starts, then please do so as well. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this huge announcement. I mean, this is fantastic, and who knows what else might bring in the future. Again, at the very beginning of the video, I was mentioning all the ways that this museum has continued to modify things. Who knows what'll happen afterward in terms of other experiences too. I'm calling it now. I'm guessing that later on there's going to be a B&B experience there. Like, people will actually get to truly stay overnight, maybe sleeping in some cots, maybe doing like a separate room for it altogether. But I think if they have that afterward for even a larger price, that's going to be very popular, and I would definitely do something like that as well. So all right, everybody, thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.